This one's quite funny because I've actually done 2 pictures for this one. I'd forgotten that I'd already done one the night before, hadn't gone over it with my pen, so did another one so I can show both. I was looking at Exodus 39:26 because I was exploring the meaning of a pineapple. I could just leave it there, but I feel like I should explain why. In the summer, when I was, to put it politely, exploring things, I went to Tinside Pool, had a chat with a guy there who knew a bit about the history. And aside from saying that it opened in October 1935, he also said it was a good place for putting a pineapple. And I thought that was a really weird comment. Now, I have heard about pineapples being expensive and that people would sort of have one in their homes perhaps to show that they were wealthy. And I'm sure I read about something to do with them in the Methodist Church, and also that they could be like fertility symbolism. But in the Wycliffe version of Exodus 39:26, it references a pineapple, but I think it means pomegranate. It might even be a typo. And that's talking about the priestly vestments. It's interesting because both images I'm going to show almost have 3 elements, so that seems relevant. So there's a female figure here that is kissing something that's descending down, that is perhaps heart-shaped, and then something off to the left, like a ball. There's either a dog or a squirrel or something on top of that ball, and a purple lizard off to the left. Some other figures in there, but I'm not quite sure what that represents. Maybe it's a pineapple. So there's a few different figures in this top part. Looks like somebody on their knees on the right, taller person on the left. So she's kissing the side of this heart, which in this view does look a bit like a face. A couple of characters in there, and right where she's kissing, not so clear in this view, but it is very clear in the image, is what looks like a letter M, but exactly like the Munster drink. So that's her head. Looks like she's got some sort of sleeping orange creature at the back of her head. I wonder if she knows. And I kind of felt I could see a face in her leg earlier. I can't see it so clearly now. So this is the other image, again made up of 3 parts. And this was using the other technique that I mentioned, that where I'm experimenting with putting the paint directly on the canvas and mixing it that way. So there's a head on the right with a person with wings standing up. Possibly another disembodied head on the left, more winged creatures. And then essentially what I think represents like the idea of planet Earth up above. So there's some different shapes, and I can see a hand at least in there. Baby face off to the right, I think. Lots of birds, lots of swirling. Somebody reaching up for the sky on the right, arm outstretched. So just above centre middle, I can see the top half of a face, some sort of head covering. It looks like they're blowing out air. Looks like a fish has jumped out on the left-hand side, or an eel. And then on the right-hand side, there looks like there's a couple getting friendly. Fortunately, the paint on the left has cracked a little bit. It's obviously one of the downsides of using this method, so I'll have to be careful while I mix the paint. The Lido is 180 feet semicircle. I think there's a reference to a 180-foot high temple porch roof or something in the Bible. Anyway, all this to say, this is a pineapple. Thanks for listening.